let's talk a little bit about the Blue Ocean Business Group and really how that Blue Ocean Business Group applies to you. We wanted to create a market space where people could own and operate their own business, and through owning and operating their own business, have a business that had high profit potential, where they didn't have to compete with everybody else out there for every single dollar that they were trying to get their hands on, where the water's in this second area here where it talks about having a red ocean. A red ocean is an area where the water gets bloodied by competition. Well, we don't want to have that be the case or have that be your experience. So we want to create an experience where no firms currently operate, no business currently operates the way that we will operate. And we're going to have some very specific ways that we go about doing that. So the Blue Ocean Business Group is an association of like-minded independent business owners, people like you and I out there, that was put together by some incredibly successful people. These people in the industry that we're going to talk about today, which is called the channel commerce industry, these people are absolutely the best in the world at doing it. These people are responsible for millions, tens of millions, and hundreds of millions of dollars in business over the years, and they're multi-millionaires because of their efforts in doing that in business. They're incredibly good at what they do. So what we want to give people the opportunity to is to be connected through an association of people here and implement strategies and the execution of those strategies so that we can all collectively benefit from it. And when we talk about how, we're going to create an unparalleled opportunity where the competition is irrelevant because the rules of the game are set by us. It's a three-dimensional approach. And we designed this very specifically, and we're going to do that through a series of approaches here. The first would be business with Avisae. I'm going to talk about that. The second would be how do you take that business in this channel commerce industry that we're going to talk about. How, if you've never done that before, can you implement a business and make that business work, knowing that as you come into it, if you haven't done it before, you might have some fears, you might have some reservations, you might have some anxiety. What it takes is to give you the training, the education, the leadership, the development, the mentorship, the things that you will need to be able to move that forward as quickly and effectively as you possibly can. And then we're going to tie one more thing into it that we think is incredibly critical, because it's one thing to have that leadership and those skills and have a business that you can implement those in, but then once that business begins to create cash flow and begins to create income, what do you do with it? You can be successful in a business and you can make money, but then it's knowing what to do with it. And for some reason, most people, that is a very difficult thing. So we're going to talk about this thing called the cash flow quadrant. The cash flow quadrant is simply helping people understand that if they're ever going to control their life at the level that they want to control it, if you want to be the one in charge, then we're going to have to move people from the left side of this equation to the right side. Now, we know just based on the numbers, based on the statistics, that most people are either employed, that's the majority, or self-employed. And in those scenarios, it's really, really hard when you're in those scenarios to really have the time and to have the lifestyle that you would like to have and to have the cash flow that you would like to have because you're exchanging time for money. If we were to look at this scenario as business owners, that becomes a major deal. Here's the challenge with that. Most people, when it comes to business ownership, would love to do it. They just don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. And they know that in most cases, it becomes very costly to do this. Then I think everybody understands that you probably need to do something different. Okay, now it's trying to disseminate what to do different and what risk tolerance are you willing to take in order to do that. When you start a business, you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to put and implement within that framework of that business the things that you're going to need to do in order to just simply make that business function. So if you're going out and you're starting a business from the ground up and it's just you, you're then going to have to be responsible for the legal and the tax and the IT and the international and what's my supply chain, what's the management of that supply chain, what goods and services are we going to have, where are we going to warehouse them, do I need to advertise, do I need to be on the internet, all those things. How does the pay structure work? Do I need an accountant? Do I need a website? All of those things are things that a business owner has to think about and deal with as they begin to operate that business. We already have all of those done, guys. We're going to simply connect you to that, okay? And we're going to do it in a very effective way that we already know. We're not guessing. We're not wondering. We know how to do it. We've done it before. And also from the Blue Ocean Success System, and these two really work hand in hand. The Blue Ocean Success System was built around people who are going to take an independent Avisae business, which we're going to talk about, and how can they develop the skill set, how can they have the mentoring and the leadership and the education and training within this framework to make this Avisae experience the most successful that it can possibly be. And then when that's all put together and begins to function properly as we help you develop that, what can you then do to take and diversify that money so that you can begin to get your money now to work for you? Help you work through those connections of the Blue Ocean Business Group and this association to the success level that you would like, and then allow you a channel or an avenue to create a secondary asset, okay? I was talking to a very brilliant guy, the guy that's going to be managing this whole retirement scenario. It's a guy by the name of Ron Simmons. I was talking to Ron a while back, and Ron said people need to understand that they either have to build an asset or they have to buy an asset. Most people never have the financial situation that allows them to buy an asset that will produce money for them because they never have any extra money to do it. So he said most people need to understand that if they're going to get ahead as quickly as possible, they need to begin to develop and build an asset. So let's talk quickly about business here. We're teamed up with Avisae. Avisae is an incredible company, and we partnered with the Blue Ocean Business Group. We began to discuss products, goods, and services that we would put into this business that would make that business work long term. We are not interested in anything that is short term. When we look at business, there was a strategy called achieve differentiation and low cost, not differentiation or low cost. This is a major factor, and let me tell you how this works. When you start dealing with the channel commerce industry, what you end up dealing with is you deal with companies that come along that think that the thing that makes them different is their product. And when you have a company that comes along and they think that the differentiation point is their product, they tend to charge too much for that product. And you've probably all seen this or been aware of it. So people come out with this product. No one else has it. It's some unique product. And so they say this product does this and this and this, and it's incredible. And they think that no one else will ever have it. The thing that they fail to understand is that because of that, they charge a high premium price. They don't realize that when the market in general has enough demand for that product, if that product gets big enough and large enough that there's demand for it, it will show up on the shelf at your local store. So what you'll end up finding is that people have a differentiating product that they charge too much for. So we have to combine a combination of products, goods, and services that meet our needs for long-term sustainability. We've done that through some strategic relationships that allow us to utilize the assets that are already in place of major global companies. All of these things are currently built, they're structured, and they're available. What most people don't understand is how to gain access to those people. Here's the implementation that we're going to put in place. We're going to implement what's called a house of brands, not a branded house. The difference is a house of brands is a company or a business or opportunity that's made up of a lot of different goods and services in a lot of different subsets. So we aren't going to just take one thing and that's all we're ever going to have. We're going to look at the needs of the association of the Blue Ocean Business Group. We are going to listen to you, and we are going to have you bring us ideas, and then we will simply put them into these business owner channels that we're going to work with you to develop and allow everyone to become profitable through doing that, okay? So we're going to have several categories. We're going to have world-class corporate infrastructure. We're going to be able to allow this to expand internationally when the timing is right. Right now we're in North America, U.S., and Canada.